ICP, finally, we might have a catalyst to push ICP's price higher. I'm Brian, big dumb animal, don't do what I do. I'm not an investment advisor. Dfinity Foundation, Internet Computer, ICP, you're probably familiar. 1,600 employee publications, 100,000 citations, 250 plus patents, 200 team members, and this particular crypto has done nothing but go straight into the toilet when it comes to price. It's been a dog. There are reasons why it started so high, some manipulation potentially way back when, but in 23, 24, bottomed out around $2, high $2, maybe $3, hit around 20 and 24, late 24, around 15. It's at $4.50. Now, for those of you that are technically inclined, or you've read about it or seen some of my videos or others, you'll know that they do everything on chain. There are others that try to do that, cryptos, or claim that. Some get close, but they don't do it like ICP. I've done videos on that in the past. So let's talk about, and I'm going to get right to the point, why I think finally ICP might take off. And it's because of what's called their Caffeine AI application, where you're speaking applications into existence. Then we'll look at some data on other applications, AI coding ones, two other ones, and compare it to give you an idea of how fast they're growing and why I think that usage will help here. Now, why usage? Well, when it comes to various cryptos, you always want to have, and I show this in most of my videos, when I talk about a crypto, you always want to have some sort of a metric that you look at and say, what is it that makes this one unique? What is it that they're doing? Great. Now I know what they're doing, or I'm looking at a metric. I want to watch that metric to continue to go up. And if it doesn't continue to go up, well, the price may come down, or maybe they're not doing as well compared to their competitors. So with layer ones, in the past, it was enough to just say, we do all these cool things and we do them very well, and someday people will start using our blockchain. Not enough anymore. You got to start showing either revenue from usage or some sort of a metric in terms of, like with ICP, the compute power, and burning ICP and using ICP, and someone finally adopting it, or create a market where people will start adopting it. And that's with this Caffeine AI. What got my attention the other day was that, I guess, the president of Dfinity, Dom, you've probably seen him speak, Dominic, on various videos talking about ICP and talking about Caffeine AI. Now, caffeine is what they call it, Caffeine AI. And they've talked about it for quite a while. Well, finally, they gave some early entry, if you will, and he made a post where he said, 256 submissions from early access users. Judges have some work to do. So they allowed people to jump on, like this individual, which showed something that they had built within Caffeine AI and how it came out. And now they're judging those. And eventually, I guess they'll open it up to everyone. Well, why does this matter? Well, when you talk about some of these applications that help you code and create apps, they're blowing up. Let's look at two here. First, let me say this. If Caffeine AI starts to blow up like the two I'm going to show you, that could lead to massive usage. These applications are being deployed onto ICP. And then if people are building applications and using these applications, then the usage on ICP will go up substantially. It's as if they created their own demand. In a demand supply equation, they said, we've got the supply. We're just waiting for someone to come use it. Let's make something as a catalyst to help get a lot of demand. So this might just do it. If we look at these two here, you might be familiar with these. One's called Lovable, text to app builder. So in other words, you're typing in what you want it to do, what you want it to build, and it starts building it. ARR, annualized recurring revenue, $100 million in 8 months. They reported some funding offers at a $4 billion valuation after they raised a $200 million round at a $1.8 billion valuation. 10 million projects have been built, more than that, over 100,000 projects a day. This is coming from their blog. Another one, Vercel VO, users, 3.5 million users. They raised 300 million. They said Series F. Okay, that's ridiculous. You've got your seed money typically. And then you've got an A round, a B round, a C round, a D round, an E round, and an F round. Anyway, $9.3 billion valuation, and their revenue is up 82% year over year. So what does Caffeine AI do? Well, it's even better or easier to use than having to type what you want something to do. You're going to just speak it into existence. So if it's that easy, it's possible, if you look at the numbers from Lovable and that other company, that the growth in usage of this may just go through the roof. Speaking it into existence is way easier than typing it into existence. And I would assume that you're going to get a much larger group of people, maybe people even less technical. You know, the farther down the technical slope you can go. In other words, you start with people that are very technical and they start using a solution like coding in C and compiling it, or Java or PHP or Python, whatever it is. And then as you move down the slope, well, then you've got people who, well, they know how to write requirements. So then they start using some of these things like Lovable. And then you move further down the slope and you get people that say, I have no idea, but I got an idea and I can tell you my idea. Oh my goodness, that's like everyone in the world. So they'll be able to speak these things into existence, and they're all going to be deployed onto ICP. Personally, I think this is the usage that ICP has been looking for. And again, they created their own demand. Brilliant. Last thing, I saw this one post I thought was interesting. This individual said at ICP Insider, said, hey, with under $50,000, you can literally become a whale. I know that's a lot of money, but when they say whale, if you're not familiar, people will talk about how much of a particular crypto do you own, and then they sort of name it. So a whale is typically the small percentage of people that own a significant amount. He's pointing out that because the ICP price was so high, I should say, for such a long period of time, that many people, in order to accumulate ICP, have paid way more than you would have to pay today, because it's down so much. He said most of us paid 5x, 10x, 20x or more to stack 10,000 ICP. But you can do it for under 50 grand, and ICP is down significantly. Make your own decisions, do your own research. I wanted to bring this to your attention because I thought this makes sense. You got a layer one, it needs usage. They came up with a solution, speak it into existence. They built the solution, they deployed it to early adopters or early users, and now they're going to unleash it to the world. I think this could really put ICP on the map and finally be what we've all been looking for. Please stick around and listen to this brief description of my school community. I teach everything with regard to crypto. Have a great day. Love how I break things down? Then hop into my crypto school. You'll get step-by-step courses on everything: buying, selling, staking for yield, borrowing, lending, even going fully debanked. Plus, join lively crypto chats and catch my daily market updates. And lastly, if you just want to help support the channel, there's a join button just below this video.